All right, let's take a look at this. The Thunderbird restriction incident, part 2. I'm sorry. Bro folded under no pressure. Bro should have doubled down and be like, why the fuck did I get banned even though I'm literally doing a service to the developers by showing them and exposing this exploit? I was just trying to help. I don't understand why I'm getting banned. That's kind of fucked up, honestly. I'm just kidding.
You know what? Maybe it'll be funny. I'll pull a John Porler.
What?
I got banned. I should whip out like a ukulele.
Yeah, that was good.
Yo, why are you outside, bro?
Let's try this one more time.
Wait, okay, I know you dead ass went to get a haircut before recording this video. That fade is way too fresh for this to be like just an organic, unscripted shit. You definitely went to get a haircut before this shit.
I think this is working.
Are you recording using audio from your phone?
Put that behind me. All right, let's talk
W production. W production.
I got banned in Osu. And, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that I got banned. But in hindsight of doing all of this, I do definitely think it's, I do 100% think it's deserved. I mean, let's think about this from a logical standpoint for a second. I first found this bug in Osu that allows you to skip forward in time. I didn't report it. I didn't create anything about it. I just skipped forward in time. I then
I'm so disappointed, Thunderbird. You had the content gold mine on you, bro. And you fumbled, bro. You should have doubled down, bro. This could have been drama of the century. Fuck Peppy, fuck Osu. I can't believe they would do this to us. This is fucked up, man. I'm gonna make Osu too. Wouldn't that be peak, bro?
to investigate this bug further and find a way to go back in time in Osu.
I know, Emily. I'm just
Which is,
trolling.
as cool as this is, definitely has some exploitable features. I then proceeded to work on this sufficiently enough to submit a score on a map that doesn't have any scores on it and should never have any scores on it. And from there, I then made a whole video talking about it. When you put it in that perspective, it totally sounds bannable. One thing I will say though is that I definitely think that the Shadow of Dark and the Magic Animals, I don't think that their ban is deserved as much as it looks like, because I'm gonna be honest, I totally take the blame here for all of this.
Okay, I feel okay. My first okay, I don't okay. So I have a couple thoughts going through my head right now. Number one is like, I feel like this is low-key an overreaction. I know ThunderBirdo, you're literally there in chat, and I'm not, but like if you weren't here and I could just talk to a brick wall for a second and be like, bro, it's not like you like killed someone, bro. Like, dude, the only thing that you really could have done better is just reporting it, establishing comms with the devs, and then posting it afterwards. Because the video is not the problem. The content isn't the problem. It's just like the communication, the comms issues. That's the root issue. None of the other shit is the issue. And so like the restriction is just like a misunderstanding, bro. It's like, I just see it as just like, oops, my bad. I should have just hit him up first. Honestly, my video is still a W, so you should still go watch it. And then boom, video ends. Like that's my real, like if I was in your shoes, that's what I would say. And then that's probably why I would get canceled.
I helped spread the information. I created the bug in the first place. The biggest reason they're there is because they've looked into this stuff in the past for like how Osu handles audio and what happens with different pieces of information. And so their insight was helpful, but I don't think that they deserve a ban. I totally think I deserve a ban. And this isn't me just like sucking up to the dev team and being like, oh yeah, you know, everything was right, everything was good. It's just me being like, seriously, I should have made a thread about this somewhere in the GitHub page. I shouldn't have like exploited this into the way that I did. I mean,
No, Osu needs more content, bro. That video is a W. Like, I refute your refusion. Okay, we need more Osu content, especially on like dev shit. Unique ways to break Osu, just in an isolated environment that wouldn't actually harm the base game.
honestly, I think this whole thing has been blown out of proportion. Sure, I got banned. Sure, I did this.
Listen, chat, so there are two content gold mines in Osu right now. There's one in terms of like Osu playing the game and interacting with its community. That's kind of where I feel like I excel at. There's the Osu mapping community, which I feel like is untouched, untapped. We saw Sotarks scratch the surface of it. Pandize is rolling back the curtains even more, along with Log Off now. But one aspect of Osu that has literally been uncharted content is dev. And Osu is an open source fucking game. Fork the damn game and make some cool shit and make videos. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Where is the Osu dev content, man? Fuck!
Stuff. People are like flaming, or not flaming, that's not a good term. People are making fun of the Osu dev team.
Hold up, ThunderBirdo, after
Which
this
I totally
happens.
think is not reasonable for stuff like this. It's a decision that they made, they make it.
Imagine being a dude on like a Friday afternoon, being like, I kind of want to go play soccer. And you see this dude just sitting on the grass, be like, hey, bro, I'm trying to play soccer. Can you move?
Yeah, I think I think it's cool what I did. I think it's interesting. I managed to do what I did, but I should have totally made a report about this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, if in terms of the maps being deloved, I don't really have a stance on it.
There's no stance that needs to be made. The maps are going to get reloved anyway. It'll just take a while, maybe forever. It's okay. We will discuss that more when we get back to not that Osu hot take. Sorry.
You can, at least for Strawberry Trapper, which is the one that Magic was able to find a completely different bug on, that still involves MP3, but not even remotely close to how I did it. And then Data Corruption Symphony, both two very well-made maps. And I think that them being deloved, I don't entirely know what to think about it, because on one hand, you've got a diff that doesn't have a bug on it, so now you can just play the normal diff normally. It's not like the maps have been completely removed, and the maps were meant to have no scores on it. So I don't know. A lot of people are saying that it's crazy to delove the maps, as well as like, oh, you're rolling back scores, you're removing comments. I don't really know what to say. I'm gonna keep my video up, not because of like, oh, this is to fight back against the Osu dev community. It's
what he's about to say. It's because it's a banger and like everything is fine, right?
It's more as like a for me to be like, oh yeah, this happened and this was there.
Oh, that's
I
also
don't
fine.
feel like taking down the video, but yeah, I mean, this all happened super quickly. I'll leave a link to the video and everything that happened. Don't do this glitch by any means. It will get you banned. This is one of those things that's like, you shouldn't do this glitch. The way I see it is you're intentionally messing with the maps, with the way how a map handles audio. I gotta be careful with how I use my words. The way how a map handles audio, and from there, you can then trick it to doing things. Oh yeah, what I will say is that I have sent an email to the Osu team outlining exactly how this bug was made, exactly what causes BAS, which is Osu's audio framework, to
Is that bass?
act in this way. and then as well as exactly a solution to this bug, because as of right now, I think I'm the only one that has a pretty decent grasp on how this works and what it does. So because of that, I can just use that and try and help out the team. Hopefully these bans get reverted. You never know. I feel bad for Shadow and Magic because they got roped into this. I was just kind of showing them this thing, and I was like, oh yeah, take a look at this, you should try it, you know. I feel bad, specifically really bad for Shadow, because he has a daily streak of like 600 days where he's completed the daily challenge.
Oh,
I think it's a perfect streak. He's been doing it every day for what is now something like 2 years.
Oh, wait,
It's
that's
absolutely insane. Good
devastating.
for him.
Oh, man.
But because of this, it means that he'll probably lose that streak. It's gone forever.
Wait, that's actually bullshit. Because, like, restrictions happen not because of a ban. It's just an investigation. But imagine you're just getting investigated for something that you genuinely did nothing wrong in. And it's just an investigation. Who cares? But, like, imagine that's the thing that ruins your streak. Bro, I would get so tilted. That is terrible. That's actually terrible. That's crazy.
Which is just so unfortunate. I feel super bad for that, genuinely. I guess I can just insert this. As for this channel, and what will happen with it, and like what will happen, I'm still gonna make content. There's a couple of things that are like I'm gonna have to put on the back burner if I don't get unbanned. But I'm still gonna make content. I'm still gonna try and make OSU programming content. In terms of the solution for solving this problem,
whoa, use
the
this here. What's up?
might be out of commission. Because that uses different audio handling techniques. But yeah, I'm gonna cut to the Twitch stream where I first discovered I got banned. But yeah, again, thanks so much.
Wait, you captured the moment you got banned live?
Yeah. Don't go back in time.
It's like the white cat wasp moment,
don't go back
but
in time. That's such a
backwards.
funny way to end it. Don't go back in time.
I'm gonna start recording just as a thing, and then I'll just throw together a quick thing. There's. What do you mean you haven't seen the news? I got banned for. Yeah, I thought it was gone. I got banned for doing this, and so did a ton of other people. In fact, they de-loved a ton of maps as well. I went too far back in time, and they rolled back everyone's scores by 2 days.
Damn.
So people lost a ton of ranks. It's kind of crazy. Oh my gosh, I just realized I need to... Oh, I am so stupid. I am so stupid. I didn't even think about this. You will be banned. And then I need the freaking siren emoji. Bang. Pin. Probably just best to send an email to Peppy, though. Yeah. Yeah, I'll send an email. Osu is a game about...
Stop talking, me!
Osu is a game where...
Almost done.
Wait, what the heck? Wait, you're telling me you didn't just hit up Claude and be like, yo, I just got banned from Osu. Send a message to Peppy. Make no mistakes. Boom.
You guys tell me what you think. Okay, you read it. I'm going to go use the washroom real
Just
quick.
kidding. Don't ever do that. That is like...
Okay, we're back.
That is a level of cringe that's unmatched
I'm gonna
by
send
like...
it. I'm going to send it. Alright. I want to get this out the door as quickly as possible. I don't think they unloved all those maps. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, I'm sending it. Let's see. Is there anything on Osu Game about this? Anything else? I don't think so. I don't understand. I don't know why so many people are mad at Osu support. I'm gonna be honest. It's not their fault. They saw an issue. They stopped it.
Strawberry Trapper, another broken map that Magic, Animals, and Shadow Dark Glitch has its leaderboard wiped. Multiple users have been banned and restricted. Damn.
Is that an L take from me? Oh, I will make a video out of this. Is that an L take from me? They spelt my name wrong.
That's like when people spell my name BMC unironically.
ThunderBirdo? Who the hell do they think they are? Seeing this post is so sad. This is so crazy. This is actually true though.
So the rake tapping, tag for area abuse, TC skin abuse, etc. was fine, I guess. But let's draw the line here. Is this guy dumb?
I'm sorry, Magic, but that's true. I can't believe that. Rake tapping, take for area abuse, and skin abuse. I do genuinely feel bad for Shadow. What about the other people that set scores on this, like Toji? No, he's here.
They fell under the radar.
Oh,
No,
these
don't
people were given
snitch.
a warning. Oh, is their account not in good standing? Holy. All right. Well, I guess we wait for a message. What the? Oh, this is an automated response. I was like, what? No way. That was quick.
Wait, I'm so like.
What's going on with my cursor here?
I thought this clip was going to
Should
be
I bring out
so
the
short. It's so
ukulele?
long. I'm like, wait, what's going to happen next now?
Maybe I should. I don't know. What I'll do maybe is I'll do a little more browsing on the Reddit for this situation. I was planning on making a bug report about this, but I never did because I didn't think it'd be a problem. Day 1 waiting for unban. Just heard you got restricted for that.
You know, now that I think about it, there actually is a bug I could probably report. Well, actually, no. Chat, it's not really an Osu bug. It was just like a bug that I discovered, not relating to Osu, but it happened through Osu. I just don't think it's really that big of a deal.
This game is doomed. You guys actually got restricted for this. What? Everyone higher ranked than me should do this right now. This is crazy. Can you upload part 2 anyways? It's wild.
No, you actually should upload part 2. Fuck it.
Oh my gosh. Crazy Osu technology find.
Osu technology.
Okay, what else? But now, I guess I work on the video.
See you next time. What a banger, dude. ThunderBirdo, do not let this discourage you. Absolute banger. All right, let's join the call. I have a couple of questions I'd love to ask. Oh wow, they're literally just chilling in the voice chat. All right, gamers.
All right, there we go.
What's poppin'? Thunder. All right. First off,
Listening.
I'd like you to take the floor first, because like I've yapped a shit ton of based off of the 2 videos I saw. Is there anything that you wanted to like push back or expand on or anything based off of my initial impressions off of your videos?
So I've had more time to think about this whole situation, and I have 2 kind of like hot takes here. That's like it really does kind of make sense. The biggest thing I have is that bugs in Osu really only get fixed if someone takes action on them, and I don't understand why that's the case, because I've looked at this in the past, and I've talked to Magic and Shadow. This bug has actually been reported on 2 separate occasions in a couple months back, and nothing happened. Then there's tons of other bugs. There's bugs that literally quote unquote generate PP. I won't go into that. But I've gotten lots of comments and people that come into my DMs and are like, this is the first time I've seen this bug, like a bug be fixed. This is the first time something came out about this. This is huge. Can you take a look at my bug and then find a whatever for it? I'm compiling like a list at this point of like 30 different game-breaking bugs in both stable and laser and out in both. It just keeps going bigger and bigger and bigger, and all these are like reported 9 months ago, reported 2 years ago, reported a month ago, reported however long ago. It's crazy to me, because I understand it from a developer spec point or standpoint, because I do developing, I do tons of other stuff. I understand it takes time. It takes lots of time, and it makes sense. My only thing is just like there should be a level of like, I don't know how to put it, a level of like urgency to some of these, because some of them are pretty big. And then the other thing is, I think the way that they took this and the way that they approached how to deal with it is the best way that they could have dealt with it. Everyone else is saying, oh, it's stupid that these people got banned. It's stupid that they unloved these moves. It's stupid that they made all this stuff.
they took it the right way. They did the right decision. They don't know anything about the bug at this point. They just got rid of scores, and it's sad for Shadow that he lost his whatever 600-day streak, but yeah, I roped him into this, so it's my fault anyway. Plus, I think they're reinstating that. I'm not 100% sure. I think they're bringing back his 600-day streak. I could be wrong though.
Okay, that's fascinating. However, I will say that that piece of information actually changes things quite a bit. So you're telling me that the bug that you showcased here in this video was actually reported on 2 years ago?
Not 2 years ago. I'm saying it was reported like
Nine
or eight
months ago.
9 or 8 months ago. How was that report filed?
Just through email. They're Magic or Shadow, one of the two, maybe even someone else, I forget. They sent an email over, and they got no response from
To like
the
OSU support
team.
or like the or Peppy?
They got no, just like the OSU support email. They got no response from it, and they were just kind of sitting on it. And only recently did they receive a response on this bug, like maybe 2 days after the video came out. Only recently, and so I'm seeing a pattern of like things only get done when someone takes action on it.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
here's the thing with like Strawberry Trapper originally. When this second one happened, I think most people assumed that it was okay to do because it was known for a while that like you could do it on Strawberry Trapper with like a somewhat different method, and nothing happened to that. We just assumed it was
similar, but yeah.
fine. Because like there was a bunch of scores, like literally the whole leaderboard is filled with like a bunch of players,
Yeah.
including some like top players as well. And
For context, Strawberry Trapper was another map that couldn't have any score set on it, but required some sort of data manipulation to make an MP3 allow you to submit the score on it.
yeah.
This is okay. All right. So I have a couple layers. I have a couple layers of thoughts over here, okay?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Let's see. How do I want to present this information? That's what I'm trying to figure out, okay? Number one, there's on the idea of that's bullshit. The fact that the fact that this bug was reported by one of the members of this group that ended up getting banned, right? Of Shadow. And 9 months later, it still wasn't addressed. And then came to the point of only you uploading the video now where it was finally seen and then fixed. That kind of seems bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
The difference between now and then from when they submitted the bug and the timeline now is that the only thing that changed is that I found a way to actually like manipulate it. I found a way to make sure that you can do this in a way that is controllable. Whereas before it was just like this happens and we can't explain it. Now it's controllable.
Oh, so am I understanding correctly that like, okay, so like the bug report was more of like, hey, like changing MP3s or changing images into MP3s breaks something. But like the thing that actually, there was like a thing that was built on top of that bug that was actually what you showcased. Is that correct?
Well, the way that we see it is that we did the bug report in the sense that the original bug report was like you can do this and this and you can corrupt certain data files to allow O2 to behave in certain ways. And these are some of the ways that we found. And then from there, we ended up looking more into it and then finding out, oh, here are some more ways that you could corrupt the data in a certain way to allow certain things. And then we just used one of those ways, IG now going back in time to set the score.
So what wasn't reported was the fact that by using this bug, it could be used to submit a score on a map that is otherwise would not be submittable. Is that correct?
Kinda. It's just like saying, oh, I arranged the zeros and ones in a different way than what was showcased here. It was explicitly stated that this could be abused in some way. We just didn't know how yet. And then we found it. But we didn't receive any message back or response from the team saying like, oh, thank you for reporting this bug. It's being looked into, or even something like, oh, we'll take a look at it later, you know,
Okay.
type of thing.
Okay, all right. Then that kind of like clears the air a little bit for me because the big concern for me, can we give the OSA team the benefit of the doubt in this situation or really trust them when they say that they had no idea? Because because what I heard from Peppy's comments is that they had no idea that this thing was an exploit that existed, despite other people saying so. And what you told me is that, hey, this exploit was reported on. But what I see as the reality is that the bug was reported, but not the exploit. You showed the exploit.
Yes. The main difference here is that I showed a way it could be used in a specific to like actually benefit from it, whereas the bug is just like, oh, this is here.
Right.
And I'll also say, like, us reporting to like the main support channel, the thing is like there's probably like hundreds of emails coming in a day. They probably can't read all of them, so there's bound to be stuff that just gets missed at the end of the day. So it's not really their fault.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So this is very interesting. Very interesting, because it's hard for me to take any sort of position because I see things from multiple different angles, right? I see it from your angle, which is like, hey, I found something interesting. I want to make a video talking about it because I think that's going to be really cool. And I align with that mentality a lot. I never want that sort of mentality to be punished. I do think, of course, there could have been some extra precautions taken, but I can also understand, not like condone or not like encourage it, but I can understand that in the process of chasing a creative, novel, interesting idea, that some steps were missed, and that's a mistake.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I do think that a mistake was made, and I do think you recognize that. And I think anyone who doesn't recognize that a mistake was made is just full of shit.
That's so true.
I do also think that the way that you treated it is extremely appropriate. All things like all memeing aside, like it was completely well handled. I think you did a great job, and I think the team will recognize that in like, you know, we'll make sure that you're taken care of at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
But the other side that I see is putting myself in, I can't really, you know, I don't represent the Osu team. I don't represent Peppy, but I am in a position where I lead a sort of team. I am in a position where people do report to me, and that information is constantly being like thrown everywhere, right? If I were to imagine myself in Pepe's shoes, I can see a scenario in which, hey, this exploit was reported. Maybe someone on the team saw it, but I didn't see it. Like Pepe didn't see it. And then even if someone on the team did see it, maybe it wasn't expedited or made as a higher priority because there are other things that are taking a much higher priority. And really, the only things that are prioritized are things that are game breaking, right? Something that requires someone to do this really weird thing when they have no incentive to do said weird thing is probably a much lower priority to fix compared to something that actively harms and disrupts the experience for its player base. And so I can imagine that if it was just like, hey, if you do this weird thing that no one is likely going to do, it does this weird thing. Cool.
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
But the moment
true.
it crosses the line of, hey, if you do this weird thing, it allows you to submit a score affecting the leaderboards that everyone else sees. That's a code red. That is like, holy fuck. You know what I'm saying? So what I really, really hope, and the benefit of the doubt that I'm giving the Osu team in this specific scenario is that they didn't get the report of the latter. They only got the report of the former, which is, hey, if you do this weird thing that no one in their right mind would ever think of doing, it does this weird thing. It makes the game does this weird thing. Who cares? It's like someone tells me, oh shit, Ed, your about page is, it says you're 24 instead of 25. I don't give a shit, bro. I'm worried about putting out YouTube videos, live streaming, talking to my editors, the round table. I don't care that my about page says I'm 24 years old. But if someone is writing an article about me to be published in the New York Times and they're referencing that I'm 24 years old because it's in my about page, well, shit, I'm going to fix that. Like, hello? I just didn't know they were going to use that in the New York Times. That's the level of difference here, you know?
It makes sense. That's the case. I mean, really at that point, it's just in the support. It's just like you got to make sure you got to set a level of urgency to some of these things.
Exactly.
I mean, right now there are two bugs out there that could let anyone just go ham on leaderboards and PP and all that stuff.
Would it
But
allow me
I-
to get #1 and take #1 for Memrec, even for like a day or two?
Yeah, I think so. I think you could. I
What's
think
it-
you
let
could
me
do
add
it with
you on
minimal
Discord real quick.
effort. Oh yeah, let me
let me just.
send
I'm
you the
just
box. I got you on the Google Docs. But yeah, I mean, there's some stuff out there. I've tried emphasizing that it was urgent, and this could, if someone finds it, it could break things. I haven't received. I talked to Fishy Fat about that. It's just there's a lot of different things down the line that if get discovered, do cause some grounds for like, oh, this is game breaking. And so we're just waiting for a response on that.
What's your
But
level
other
of
than that-
contribution to the to Lasers development?
Lasers development, the closest thing I've done is make a new game mode for a video that I'm doing. soon.
Oh, you
But
made a rule
that's-
set.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's awesome.
it. But I'm also half afraid to develop anything anymore because of how the OSU team handled this situation.
Oh,
But
now that's what I
we'll see.
extremely don't want to happen. Listen,
Yeah.
ThunderBirdo, you have a talent, okay? The talent isn't just you're a developer. The talent isn't that you found a game-breaking bug. The talent isn't that you made a YouTube video. The talent is that you did all three. There are multiple people who can do single things that are interesting, but there are very few people who will take those things and combine them. I don't want you to lose that because OSU needs people like you. All things considered, yeah, you got restricted. Yeah, your two friends also got restricted, but you published a fucking banger, bro.
I know.
Holy fuck, that's something you
that's
should
insane.
celebrate,
Yeah.
man. That is dope, man. Like, I saw that on my recommended feed. YouTube is pushing that video.
I'm not gonna stop making content.
Good.
But the way that the OSU team handled it, said like if I so much as explain what's going on in the situation, it's bad. The thing that they said in the email was it's not that we banned you or restricted you because of the glitch or the bug or the fact that you got it on a leaderboard. It's because you'd used it for clout. And so I had to explain to them that I won't do that again, and then I got unbanned for that. And so that discouraged me from going onward and releasing like my new game mode that I made for OSU and stuff, or going back and putting updates onto other videos that I've done. Like I made a program that lets you swap the MP3 of any song perfectly in the BPM lineup. Like stuff like that. I've just resorted to like going on and doing all my development on Mick OSU instead. And we'll see if I'll ever port it over to real OSU.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, that's a tough situation to be in. And honestly, I can understand why you would be so hesitant because knowing the information that you were sent from official OSU sources, I can imagine feeling like walking through a minefield. You don't know what is good and what's bad. You just want to make cool shit. And I can imagine that like if you're having to walk through a minefield, that restricts the creative process, right? If you have to ask for permission everywhere you explore, that's lame, you know? And I also experienced that.
For part 2 of the video, what I was going to do, I was going to explain another glitch, but I was going to go into like all the other glitches that we found in the meantime that weren't game breaking and didn't have any effect on it. Like, for example, a glitch that lets you play certain modes with different mods, and that's cool. Or a glitch that allows for like standard to be played with CS12 or CS18 and stuff like that. Like crazy cool things that are super cool and could be used for mapping techniques that like Aspire and stuff. It's just I don't want to do it anymore. I'm too afraid to go dive into this anymore. I don't know if I should or shouldn't.
Here's what I'll say to that, okay? I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way. Obviously, I want to be like a good role model. I don't want to ever encourage someone to, you know, break the rules per se. But
You gotta be careful with what you say here.
I do have to be careful, and that's what sucks.
Yeah, that's also why I was careful in my apology video.
As long as you accept responsibility for your actions, you can do anything you want. So the question is, what are you willing to risk? For a lot of people, that involves not stealing, not, I don't know, running outside naked. That involves showing up to work on time, unlike me. Because the risks of not following those rules outweigh the costs, right? However, sometimes you have to show someone that things can be better before they can understand that there's a better way. For example, YouTube would not exist if its founders followed the rules. It was a copyright minefield. People were uploading TV shows onto YouTube when it first came out. It was a dating site at first, right? And then its users started uploading copyrighted material and some of it would be organic, funny videos and shit like that. But it was over the course of that highly accelerated period that involved a lot of illegal shit happening of people's copyrights genuinely being infringed that we have the YouTube here today. Does that mean that YouTube never should have existed and shut down the site immediately when people were breaking people's copyright? I would argue no, because what ended up happening is that, yes, rules were broken. Yes, YouTube was getting sued to oblivion, but then a compromise was found. Things settled. And what we have today is a platform where people can express themselves and have their own community of like-minded people that love a certain thing. And I think that end result is worth the risk that the platform took in its early inception. YouTube would not be here today if they didn't stomach the risk of, holy fuck, our users are uploading TV shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I know what it takes for Osu to keep moving forward. And I'm going to be honest, one of the biggest thresholds that Osu has right now that needs to be broken is the Osu content scene. Look at Geometry Dash right now. Geometry Dash has become mainstream. It is one of those games that you look at and everyone knows it. It's the cube. It's going through the different things. It's super cool. I think content creators as a whole within Osu, I think they're willing to take the next step that is necessary to build this game and make it a better and make it more mainstream. And if it means that I get banned for doing this kind of stuff, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm all for it. Maybe I gotta keep going with the content. Not saying that I am gonna get banned. Not saying that I'm gonna do these things. Not it is all in my mind as like hypothetical. But I'm just saying, content as a whole is huge for Osu.
All in all, what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't want you to have the Osu staff discourage you, because I want you to understand that you've only seen a small, let's say a restricted perspective of the game, of its staff. Okay. From the perspective of an end user, which it's very unfortunate that the end user does have the experience that you have, which is they submit a bug report, they don't get any response, and it's whoop-de-fucking-do. What was the point of all that? There used to be a time where people they get restricted and they have no idea what they're supposed to do as a result of that. They try to talk to us to support and they get literally nothing from it, right? And that sucks. But what I will tell you is that if you do stick around and if you do act with the idea of putting the game first, as in you want this game to grow, you want to nurture this community, and you want to be a positive influence on the community, then the developers, the Osu team that I have spoken with in person is extremely receptive to that. One of the ideas I want to go down is the idea of bandwidth, because technically speaking, you're right. The fact that this bug, like the underlying bug that led to this exploit, was reported 9 months ago is bullshit. Like, that never should have happened. In an ideal world, for any major company, you should expect that when it gets reported, it is treated with a sense of urgency and it gets patched within a reasonable amount of time. I think the average person would expect that 9 months to fix something and it still hasn't been fixed is pretty unreasonable to the average person. Now, this is where you should start to take into account, well, Osu is not the average game. Osu is an extremely small team, essentially one person and friends leading essentially a massive community of people just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, right?
It's hugely community driven. You can't get past that.
Exactly. And as a result, the question really just becomes, does the OSU team in its limited capacity have the bandwidth to address the fire hose of issues that comes up over time, right? Because if you alone have that many bug reports, I'm sure you're a very talented developer, but I'm sure there are even more talented developers out there that have identified even more glaring issues out there.
So
right?
crazy. Yeah, I with the amount of bug reports that come in every day, I wouldn't expect them to complete this within the year. There's probably I would guess like at least 50 bugs a day that come in.
Like you would need multiple full-time engineers just to handle the bug reports if you really want to meet that level of expectation of, oh, a bug gets reported and is handled within a quote-unquote reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and again, this is all just speculation, right? I feel like the OSU team just doesn't have the bandwidth for that. They only have the bandwidth for if it's urgent, then it will get addressed. Until then, they are acting in the good faith that these exploits will not be abused. And once it crosses that abuse territory, that's when you start to see the treatment that you're being treated, right? Because I do agree with the OSU team. This was abuse. But
I agree.
With that being said, there's also another layer to this because I can also imagine myself being part of the blame for this because of the OSU team that I know of and how they function. The biggest bottleneck that the team has is not contributions of code, of reports. The OSU community is amazing. Everyone wants to help. The bottleneck, from what I understand, is actually the people inside of the OSU team who can validate, authenticate, vet through that code to then approve a merge or a pull request onto the official game. This is compounded even worse with the fact that Laser is the prime, like I believe Laser is the primary focus of the team and not essentially stable. And so for a bug report that is unstable, that is not urgent, if I was in their shoes, I could understand why like if it was looked at as like, we'll deal with it later. Yeah. When I hear the 9 months thing, I see both sides. On one side, I see 9 fucking months that a bug was reported and it was never addressed without even responding to you. That's bullshit. But then there's the side that because I have this insight, I've been in this game for so long, I'm like 9 months, they never responded to you. It wasn't really that urgent. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Which is unfortunate, you know?
It makes sense, and it's not their fault. It's just a lack of hands. They can't do it all at once. It's not possible.
And I removed one of their hands. Smoogie used to be on bug reports or vetting through PRs, and I convinced him to take on ranked play instead.
Bro, how dare you? You're the reason why this all happened. How dare you?
Yeah, this could have been solved ages ago.
Bro.
You need to take account.
We are canceling you on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, everywhere. You're done.
Whip out the ukulele.
Whip out the ukulele.
So with that being said, it's like, listen, I don't think you're a bad guy. I think you have a great head on your shoulders. I think you see the vision and the importance of content. I think you have the best intentions in mind of like, hey, you just want to make cool shit happen. And I understand that the fear and the trouble that you're currently experiencing is that you currently feel like things are a minefield. What I will tell you is that as long as your intentions are in the best interest of the game, there are people who not only sympathize with your cause, but will actively help you. I'm one of them. I see what you're trying to do and I want to help you. So if push does come to shove, call me in and I'll see what I can do. Like when John Porler got banned, I was the one who reached out to him and was like, oh my fucking God, this is terrible. Let me see what I can do. And then I connected him with the right people who ultimately was able to come to the decision of like, hey, we'll make an exception. Okay. Ideally, that sort of connection-based thing shouldn't exist. But unfortunately, it's kind of the best that we have, right?
Yeah.
ideally that doesn't happen from the get-go, right? As long as you're acting in good faith, I think you're going to be fine. You now understand the like, hey, you need to at least like check in with the devs and like report this. And given that you're a person who has this track record now, I'd like to believe that this is going to be treated with a level of urgency now. In fact, think of it this way. I made the roundtable laser exclusive because I wanted to push the game forward, right? But that's that's not actually the full story. I made the roundtable laser exclusive as a point of leverage so that I could make Peppy prioritize infrastructure for the OSU tournament scene. There were things that we needed to make tournaments exist on laser that literally didn't exist and were not a priority unless I came in and was like, hey, I am hosting and putting $10,000 in this fucking event. I need you to do this to me. And that was the thing that made it a priority. If I can imagine, I cannot speak for the team. I'm not part of the OSU team, right? I'm just a random dude on the internet.
Yep.
If you were to approach the team and tell them, hey, this bug that was reported ages ago, there is now an exploit that I found. I have a video that's going to be uploaded on this day or planning to publish on this day. Please coordinate with me so that this can be patched by that time. Happy to work with you. I guarantee you that, okay, I can't guarantee, but like I would like to believe that they will prioritize fixing that issue so that you can make an informative, entertaining, interesting video about how the game works, how you found a problem, how you fixed it, and set an example for how others can responsibly do the same.
That's good to know. That's good information.
But yeah,
Okay,
that's all of my thoughts.
I guess that's all of mine too. I got nothing else to say. At the end of the day, though, it's crazy that all this went down. If we want to put a moral to this, we've all learned a valuable lesson.
I didn't learn
I don't know what
shit,
it
bro.
is, but
I
we
got
learned
content. Thanks, bro.
All right, bro.